Well, let's start here. It seems that time is up for Markus Jooste. The Reserve Bank has moved to attach the assets of the former CEO of the Steinhoff Group. Jooste has been implicated in fraud within the group. Last week, the SA Reserve Bank received the go-ahead from the Western Cape High Court to attach all Jooste's assets, which amount to billions of rands in art, property, cars, a wine estate, a trust fund. The list goes on. Well, I'm joined now by the investigative journalist Pauli van Wyk, who of course is from the Daily Maverick. Pauli, thank you so much for your time this evening. I know that you're on deadline for this story. Talk me through what has been happening today regarding Markus Jooste's assets.
Good afternoon, Sally. So we know that the Reserve Bank won an ex parte court order in which they was granted an order to attach mainly 3 sets of assets linked to Markus Jooste. These include Lanzerak, which is the 3rd oldest wine estate in Stellenbosch. It includes his house in Hermanus, Voelklip area. And then it includes his family trust, the Silver Oak Trust, which holds around 1.4 billion rand in assets. But I think one of the most important things that the Reserve Bank also wanted was documents in terms of books and digital and printed documents, which will assist them, they say, in further investigations. Now, my colleague Peter Louis Meiberg, who investigates this with me, and I already also know that Bardien Oudendaal's assets, who's alleged to be in a romantic partnership with Markus Jooste, has also been blocked last year already by the Reserve Bank, and she has been fighting the Reserve Bank in order to get more access to her money. So this also includes property at Val de Vie, as well as 4 bank accounts with around 4.7 million rand in it.
All right, so the Reserve Bank has gone for this preservation order and received it. Could you explain to us how Markus Jooste is suspected of contravening exchange control laws?
So it's interesting, the teeth that the Reserve Bank is showing here, because what they actually say is that the argument is this: if Steinhoff allegedly contravened certain laws in South Africa, and if they then dissipated some assets to certain entities and people like Markus Jooste or Markus Jooste's family members or a romantic partner or some trusts, that the Reserve Bank can then attach the assets and money of anyone that benefited from the original crime, which means that no matter where that money is flowing to, the Reserve Bank may have a case to attach those assets and recoup it, because in the end, it's obviously the shareholders' assets.
Okay, so give us the developments in light of what's been happening with any sort of criminal probe into Markus Jooste. Do the two work hand in hand, or is this preceding that process?
Yes, that's an important point to make. So this is not a criminal probe yet. This is from the Reserve Bank. In terms of exchange control regulations, the Hawks and the prosecuting authority and the police are the purveyors of the criminal law and criminal charges. And any criminal action must come from them. And we have no action from them on Jooste or Steinhoff yet.
And that's such an interesting point, because for so long, and this scandal happened, in 2017, the South African public has been saying, when is action going to be taken against Markus Jooste for what he's alleged to have done? And we're seeing the freezing of his assets as a bit of a first step, I would imagine. Where is Markus Jooste? Do you know if he's had any response or any attempt to fight what has happened today?
We are informed that he was in Hermanus, close to his home there in Voelklip, when the Reserve Bank team knocked on his door. And what happens now is this was an ex parte application in the Western Cape High Court. It means that this was a court procedure held in secret, so that no one knows outside of the Reserve Bank and the relevant judge. So what now happens is Markus and his lawyers would have the chance to tell the court why the Reserve Bank may have been wrong in this instance and fight his case in this instance.
All right, so he still could fight to get his assets back. Just take us back to 2017 and what he is believed to have done that tanked the market so badly.
So we know that Steinhoff has been involved in some serious accounting irregularities. There were allegations about insider trading. There were allegations of self-trading. And this is in essence what the Reserve Bank would probably now also want to investigate, is where have the assets gone from Steinhoff into Mayfair Holdings and family trust funds and perhaps property. Where's all the assets located? But also, how have any crimes, if so, committed? How was it committed, and how did the money flows appear?
Well, thank you so much for breaking that down so simply for us. Pauli van Wyk, investigative journalist from the Daily Maverick. I'm going to let you get back to your deadline. Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. But we are seeing some very strong moves against Markus Jooste. So it's certainly a developing story at this time.